Hello, welcome. Today I'm talking to Dr. Tom Colso of Happy Mouth Generative Energetic Dentistry. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Shauna. It's great to be with you today.
Thanks for coming on. I've got some questions for you. And the first question I'd like to ask is, would you tell us a bit about you and a little bit about Happy Mouth?
Sure. So I've been a practicing dentist for well over 25 years. I have a holistic, biologic, cosmetic family dental practice in the United States. It's near the Rocky Mountains, which I can see right outside the windows right there, and you could see it too if you were here. And in our dental practice, we do modern dentistry, but we go much above the standard of care in dentistry today. For example, I will at many times use injectable homeopathics and medical grade ozone as part of my typical day of doing dentistry. And I also have another dental pursuit. It's called Happy Mouth. And with Happy Mouth, which is a separate business, my aim is to take what I can do in the dental office a billion times further, let's say, with people who are actually looking for consciousness and who know that their body in their mouth can actually be a very generative place. So Happy Mouth was started in about the year 2000 when one of the Happy Mouth activation points started activating on my skull in the middle of an energy class that I was in. And this activation point, which we now call the dental activation point, started firing on and off in the middle of the class. And it was actually a bit uncomfortable and unnerving because I didn't know what was going on at the time. So with Happy Mouth, I ask, when you look at your mouth and body, what would you like to change? What would you like to choose? And what would you like to create? What would you like to create and generate with the mouth and body? Because the mouth is the gateway for the rest of the body. And science has shown us that at least 80% of all diseases can be traced back, at least partially, back to the mouth. And I consider a healthy mouth absolutely important in having a happy body. And a happy mouth really creates a happy body. Happy Mouth is actually an advanced energetic body class. At least the 3-day is an advanced energetic body class. There is so much that is going on with the body that can be helped by healing the mouth. There are a lot of energies hidden and stuck in the mouth, and that's because it's considered what we would call a private place. We don't let a lot of people in there, and everybody can be really helped by clearing as much as they can and activating as many of the generative systems as they can in their mouth. The mouth is really a source point for so many things in the body that are not working well. And the teeth and the mouth literally affect the rest of the body. If the mouth is not taken care of, it literally contaminates the rest of the body. So it's very important to clear the issues of the mouth. So let's run a process. So what would it take to be aware of what information has been stored in various parts of the mouth that are not appropriate for the mouth, the body, and the being? Everything that does not allow all that, well, you just try and uncreate all that, please.
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POCFIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof, ad infinitum in any Mobius strips, may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness.
Okay, so with Happy Mouth, there's points on the head, on the skull,
Mhm.
activation points. How many are there? And I'm often asked, where did this information come from?
So there are 16 points, and the activation points used in the 3-day class I channeled through a being of oneness called Melchizedek. And I also work with two other groups that are also beings of oneness. One group I call the consultants, and they've brought in a lot of information. They're 17 ascended masters. Half belong to a group called the White Brotherhood, and half belong to a group called the Order of Melchizedek. And I also work with a group of over 300 beings of oneness that I call the orchestra. And the orchestra are all from the Order of Melchizedek, and they do not bring in information, but they do assist with exponentializing the healing. So, like I said, there are 16 points, and the points that we are activating in 3-day classes are the Dantal generative system, which I mentioned before, which is really what I would consider the master control activation point. There's the gingival restorative system and the gingival generative system. And these 2 points work together for healthy gums. There's the bone and lymph restorative system activation points, and these are important for the gums as well. There's the receptor and responder point activation system, and these 2 points, they are really about the body being able to receive and also respond in an appropriate way. There's also the awareness activation point and the smart point activation point and the insight activation point. And in these 3 points, awareness, smart, and insight, they help facilitate a person making choices, which is really important for the gums, actually. And they facilitate a person in making choices, which can be a challenge for a lot of people. And a lot of people are stuck in this regard. There's also the balance point activation point, and this balances the energy between the different points. There's the TMJ generative system activation point and the TMJ restorative system activation point. The TMJ is really your joint right here, where the which moves your mouth. Now these points that I just mentioned, they work together for a healthy jaw and joint structures. And there's the salivary gland generative activation point, and that is something that, lots of people have a dry mouth, which is a big problem for them, and it's a big problem for the health of their mouth. So that's what that's for. There's the tooth structural integrity system activation point, and this is for taking care of decay and taking care of cracks in the teeth and parts of the tooth that may be broken off or chipped. There's the hair generative activation point, and this is really just a bonus point, has nothing to do with the mouth, but people have gotten a lot of use with that, yes. And then finally, there's the youthening activation point, and this is important for anyone who would like to generate their body with ease. So these 16 activation points are actually very potent. Most of them only need about 30 minutes runtime when you're activating them per session to be activated. So with Happy Mouth, we do a lot of processing too, and I mean a lot. But the thing is, these activation points are so potent that just running the activation points without doing processing will eventually, over time, change your belief systems that are false. So let's say you have a belief system that's false and it's not working for you, and you'd like to change that. The activation points will actually will actually change those systems for you, even without the processing that we do. But with Happy Mouth, we like to come at things from all angles, all the angles that we can. So we do the processing and the activations.
Oh, so okay. I have a question about germs, and people say that the mouth is full of germs. And what's your perspective on that? And then I'm inspired by you talking about how the mouth is a generative place. What else is possible with that?
Well, yeah, a lot of people do have the point of view that the mouth is full of germs and that the mouth is a dirty, disgusting place. And a lot of that is, judgment. When people say, well, what a dirty mouth, and in the United States, there's expression when that someone might use if someone's swearing at them with obscene language. And if someone swears at you, you might say, well, I hope you don't kiss your mother with that mouth. So there are all sorts of judgments about the mouth because it's, where we speak and communicate, it's where we eat, and sometimes it's where we have sex. And so when we're talking about germs, it's usually, in science that we're talking about bacteria. And, it's said that there's helpful bacteria and there's harmful bacteria. And the belief system that brings in more of the harmful bacteria is entitlement. Entitlement meaning, if somebody has a sense of entitlement, it's meaning that, I deserve more than I'm getting, better than, I deserve more. So it's helpful to develop an attitude of gratitude for everything we have, good or bad. And harmful bacteria can also be about when you are allowing others to rule who you are and leading your life by what others think that's best for you instead of what you know is best for yourself. So let's do a process on that. So, what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about the eternal, sacred, and inviolate orders of addictive dichotomous reality and the belief systems that create viruses, bacterial overgrowth, and fungal overgrowth, and inflammation? Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all seven systems, all seven powers, POC, PIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible and beyond thereof at infinitum, and any Mobius twists may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness.
A lot of people have tooth decay and what's called cavities in their teeth. Like, could you talk about where that comes from?
Sure. So, the energy of tooth decay, there's two main energies come up. One is I'm having a hard time making choices in my life and I'm not happy with the ones I'm making. And the other is life is not sweet and comfortable enough. And therefore, I'm eating too much sugar. And this is really the belief where the majority of tooth decay comes from. So let's talk about the main belief system of decay, about the sweetness and the comfort component of life. So a question to consider with this is, if decay is something that you're having to deal with, the question is, would you rather be comfortable and stay the same, or would you rather keep changing? So it's really just about a willingness to change and go where life leads you instead of saying that my comfort is more important. Following the energy instead of staying where everything's comfortable. Literally letting go of the idea that you need to be comfortable and that comfortableness comes first. So let's do a process. So, what have you made so vital about the algorithms of enslavement to the thought that preceded the action that created you choosing to become the rigid fossil and refuse the infinite flexibility that you truly be? Well, you delete that algorithm and uncreate all that, please.
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all seven systems, all seven powers, POCFIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof ad infinitum, and any Mobius twists may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. And now let's immediately fill that vacuum with universal love and oneness.
Mm.
So decay for everyone is also, where have you stopped growing?
Mm.
You know, if you're not growing, you're decaying. So where have you refused to grow? So let's do another process. What ignorance are you using that causes you to absolutely, totally, eternally, irrevocably, infinitely, utterly, perpetually refuse to grow in favor of physical comfort? Everything that is, well, you destroy and uncreate all that, please.
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all seven systems, all seven powers, POCFIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof ad infinitum, and any Mobius strips may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness.
Another thing that people have in their mouths is plaque, that sticky film that forms on the teeth. So energetically, what's going on with that?
So, plaque is really the body's way of overprotecting itself. So a question to consider with this is, if you have a lot of concerns with plaque in your mouth, do you know how to gift and receive love and gratitude? Do you feel the need to always be protected, to feel safe? So if you do not feel safe, if any part of you does not feel safe because you have a hard time giving love and gratitude, or a hard time receiving love and gratitude, or loving and having gratitude for yourself, that's what initiates the need for the overprotection. So let's do a process on that. So what ignorance are you using to create the no love, no gratitude universe you are choosing? Will you just try and uncreate all that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good of all involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all seven systems, all seven powers, POCFIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof ad infinitum, and any Mobius twists may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. So the interesting thing is that our bodies have within them a particular microorganism whose job it is to actually dissipate the plaque in our mouths. So these organisms that are designed to destroy plaque, what happens is there are different substances that we eat or drink that put these microorganisms into dormancy and unconsciousness. So basically, by eating different things that our body is sensitive to, or our mouth is sensitive to, we're putting these microorganisms into unconsciousness, into dormancy, and basically we're putting them into death. So we can get these microorganisms to become conscious again because nothing truly dies. So let's do a process. I would like, anybody who is watching, go ahead and put your hands on your cheeks. And so now let's ask for all the entities that are designed to take care of plaque, calculus, etc., and all of those that are dormant or died within the bodily structures, and everything that made them decide or determine that they had to do that, and everything that encapsulated them, and everything that keeps them from being totally present, everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate all that, please?
Yes.
Thank you. To and from the highest good involved that benefits the oneness of the universe, A through F, all 7 systems, all 7 powers, POCFIPs, PPFs, all systems visible and invisible, and beyond thereof ad infinitum, and any mobius just may they be unwound, untied, and decimated for all time and space, so that all of life may continue to come with ease, joy, and glory in holiness. So what is really important with this is how do we keep them conscious? And, that's a longer subject that we talk about in the 3-day class.
So I know we're getting close to the end of our time. We're almost out of time here. But would you mind just telling us briefly what's in the 3-day Happy Mouth class?
Yes. So, we cover the gums, gingivitis, gum disease, gum recession. We cover, the teeth. We're activating tooth buds, growing new teeth, strengthening teeth, generating strong teeth where there's decay or where there's crack or chips in the teeth. We're also covering the TMJ joint issues and clenching and grinding. We're looking at issues with mercury and plaque, root canals, nerve regeneration. So basically anything that's up for people in their mouths. So if there's a class in your country or near your country, I hope to see you there.
Thanks, Tom. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And our website.
You are welcome.
Yeah, www.yourhappymouth.com. And thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you.